Hi everyone, I'm Toni Halstead. I'm glad you joined me today for my gentle yoga class. We're going to start on our back, which we oftentimes do, but before we go there, just sit comfortably. You can just have your feet out in front. You can sit on a chair. And I would like, if you have a chair nearby, you don't have to bring it in, but you might go to it, and a wall would be great. And you can again just go to it. You can shut a door and listen to me or move your screen so that you can see me if you need to. But it is nice to have a mat. But if you don't have a mat, it's okay. Our poses today will be such that you won't have to worry about your feet slipping. But if you have a mat, that's great. A little something for your head is also nice. So if you have that, it can be not a pillow that's not too thick, maybe if you've got that nearby, or a small towel. So class today, I'm going to focus on several things. One, building strength, which we oftentimes do, particularly strengthen our legs, hips. We're going to focus on balance, so poses, standing poses on one leg, which build the strength and also balance. But I'm all about safety, so that's why having a wall, chair, piece of furniture, something is important, very important, right? So you'll want to have that nearby. We all have limitations. I have them, and since I'm not there to ask you how you're doing today and how you're feeling and which is your limitation so that maybe I could help you, I just want you to know that it's important, as always, to listen to your body. That's what practicing yoga is all about. So if something doesn't feel right, of course you will come out, definitely. And with that, I just want you to, again, know that we're going to be standing on one leg. If you have arthritis in a knee or hip, listen please to the options, because I'll be giving options. Let's begin. All right, let's come on to our back. With your head supported, we're going to focus a little core strength, but also just waking up some muscles in the hips, the glutes with your buttocks, and the back of the thighs, the hamstrings. All right, so coming with your knees bent, head supported, and we're going to begin right away with our hands on the belly, one above, the other below the navel. All right? So adjust your feet so that they're able to be comfortable and able to be held without a lot of effort. One option is to walk your feet a little wider and bring the tops of the knees together and allow them to rest there, which is I like. As you begin to notice the floor beneath you and you feel that support, so the muscles in the back begin to relax, you can even begin to feel the changes as your back begins to softly release into the support of the floor. Beginning with the breath, right where it enters, breathing nasally, we begin the process of breath awareness. So as you bring your breath in and out through the nostrils, not trying to change it, just simply notice it. Might be the first place that you notice is right where it enters, the edges of the nostrils. Notice that sensation. And as you come to each exhalation, just effortless inhale, your exhales are going to linger. They're going to come to the end, and see if you can exhale a little bit more. So just gradually extend your exhalations, not working in any part of your breath too hard. In other words, when we begin to notice the breath, we want to change it. I want you just to change it when it feels right, gradually. So simply noticing the breath, you just notice one breath in, the other breath out. But as you lengthen your exhalations, you're naturally going to create more space in the lungs for fuller inhalations, which might be a little already longer, fuller. So we want to wake up the diaphragm, which is a very important muscle. Let me share this reading from a very, very well-known yoga teacher internationally. He says, the diaphragm is simply a muscle like any other muscle in the body. It needs to be maintained in order to function at its best. The importance of breath in yoga is to encourage proper tone in the diaphragm. By just using it right now, you're creating this tone. And if you can't feel any movement beneath your hands, you will in due time, but as you breathe deeper, see if you start to feel the belly rise on the inhales and fall on the exhales. He continues to say that by increasing lung capacity, which is more oxygen, in turn, and there's evidence here that longevity is lengthened. Very simple. Diaphragmatic breath. It's very important. Bringing more oxygen in the body, using this muscle, and this muscle which presses as the lungs increase and with outward, you might feel it moving front of the body, even in the back of the body. You're using other muscles of respiration. You are feeling the diaphragm, maybe, yes, pressing against the belly only because the belly is moving outward, but there's a true important movement here as it presses against the diaphragm and against other organs too. So lots going on with your diaphragmatic breath right now. And if you can't feel the hand moving, rising and falling with the breath, don't worry. In due time, it's like any muscle. You've got to use it. And maybe it's been a while since you've woken it up. So as you inhale, the belly gently swells. Exhale, you feel the hand releasing back. A couple more diaphragmatic breaths. With your next exhalation, I want you to wake up the muscles beneath your hand, not only this diaphragm, but this muscle, but abdominal muscles. So do the best you can to draw the navel to the spine. Maintain the natural curve of your lower back right now. Just simply notice it. If you're not feeling the engagement of your abdominals, again, you just have to wake them up. Yeah, and in a moment, maybe you will. So just wake them up here gradually. Try not to work too hard, and most of all, don't be hard on yourself. Yoga is about accepting where you are right here today. Take another breath in, longer breath out. On your next exhalation, hug the navel to the spine, hold it there the best you can, and with each exhale, you hug a little bit more. One more breath. Hug. Inhale, release. Exhale, hug again. This time I'm going to have you bring your lower back towards the floor. Hold. And we're going to alternate with the breath. Inhale, release your back away. You might even lift it a little further away, a little baby arch. Now exhale, hug the navel, low back towards the floor. Inhale, release. Exhale, hug. Now as you continue this, the action of the hugging is going to move the pelvis probably, and you're feeling that movement. Might be ever so slight. So right across that bony part of our pelvis, the sacrum, and you might begin to feel the ability to move the spine a little bit more, the lower back, that part of the spine, right? This is just the action here is just in that one area. On your next exhalation, you're going to hug and you're going to hold. Now bringing your arms by your side, close in. Turn your palms inward towards your thighs. Bend your elbows, keeping your elbows, upper arms pressing into the floor, along with your shoulders. If your knees are together, bring them apart so they're right over the ankles. You might walk your feet back towards your hips just a bit, because I'm going to have you lift just your tailbone off the floor on your next inhalation. So just lift the tailbone up, but try to keep the low back on the floor. You're pressing your elbows, arms, shoulders, feet all firmly into your mat. And then exhale, roll back down. Inhale, relax your back away. Exhale, hug the navel, low back into your mat, pressing your arms, again, shoulders, feet. Inhale, tailbone lifts. Hold. Once again, keep the lower back pressing. Just the tailbone is lifting, so just the sacrum is coming off the floor. On the next inhale, see if you can lift just a little bit higher. Firm the feet.
You might even, if you need to adjust the feet further apart, closer together, away from the hips, closer, and you certainly may do that at any time to keep the knees right over the ankles and bring your weight further back onto the heels, and you might even lift the toes up as you see if you can lift the thighs and hips gently, gradually up a little higher. Comfortable always in the back. Firming the feet. If it's available, lift higher. Come to a comfortable baby bridge pose for you. Just waking up some muscles. Take another breath in. And exhale, roll back down. Nice and slow. Take your time. Inhale, relax. Lift the relax the belly, lift the back away, little baby arch. Exhale, hug. Inhale, slowly as you engage the feet, arms coming up to a comfortable bridge pose for you. Hold for a couple breaths. Once again, firming particularly the feet back into the heels as we wake up the glutes and hamstrings. Take another breath. And exhale, very slowly roll back down, waking up the spine. Inhale, relax all those muscles and release. And one more time, exhale, hug and hold. Now walk your feet just a little closer together. We're going to add to this, and if any time this is not available, as you bring your arms by your side and out a bit, palms down, you take these movements with your hips on the floor, right where we are. Otherwise, exhale, hug the navel. Inhale, lengthening through the tailbone up. You lift to a comfortable bridge. Not too high. Shift your weight over to the right. Firm the right foot. Lift the left foot off the floor. We've done this before. You want to use your core strength to keep your hips stable. This is just a great way to wake up some muscles that I mentioned earlier. Arms are there for stability, but see if you can really find that stability coming from your core. This is too much, roll back down and just lift the foot up, hovering it close to the floor as you can. And if it's available, we'll move on the exhale. See if you can lift just an inch or so higher and then lower that inch. Firm again the weight into the heel and lift and lower. Exhale, lift and lower. Two more. It's not a big movement. You're going to lift and hold. You have a choice, keeping the knee bent or slowly straightening it so it's somewhat parallel to the floor, pressing through the heel. Again, create that sensation of firming the weight back into that right heel and hold for another 2 breaths. Last one. And slowly bend the knee as you inhale and roll, exhale, back down. Inhale, relax the back away. Exhale, hug the navel to the spine, firming the shoulders, arms, feet down. Inhale, tailbone lifts, thighs and hips. Hold to a comfortable height. Shift your weight to the left, right foot up off the floor. Firming the weight into the left heel. When it's available, we'll move. Exhale, thighs and hips lift. Keeping just your right leg just as it is. It's not moving. You're simply moving the hips up and down, keeping them level, stable. Feel the strength of your core. Now, if any time here it would be your left hamstring, glute starts to talk to you, meaning sometimes using these muscles, they'll cramp up just because you haven't used them in a while. Roll back down and hug your left thigh into your chest. All right, just a couple more. Using the breath, exhale, slowly up, inhale down. Last one, lift and hold. And again, if it's available, straighten the right leg this time, pressing through the heel. Just another couple of breaths. Last one. And inhale, bend. Release your foot and slowly exhale, roll through the spine. Inhale, relax, back comes away. Exhale, hug once again your lower back into your mat as you bring now your right and left thigh into your chest for a nice release as the knees come apart, and hug them in close as you comfortably can. So you should feel probably a stretch in those muscles that we just said hello to. Rock, side to side. Nice, slow, right across that area, low back that we certainly brought awareness to. And back to the center of your spine. And just pause here and continue to separate the legs a little wider if you can, and circle the feet nice and slow. Like to just wake up the feet, ankles, and reverse. Because what I'm going to ask you to do is bring the soles of the feet together if you can and hold on to them, but that might pull on the shoulders, so maybe the ankles. So as you bring your feet towards you, exhale your thighs away from you. A little hip opener here. Always gentle. Deepen your breath when we get into these areas where we might feel tightness. Our bodies are storage units for our stress. So again, if we've been sitting more than we usually do, or we've been doing things that we normally don't do, we were walking more, which is great. Great to walk, and it's a nice addition to your yoga practice for sure. But just open the hips and breathe. Last breath, because we're going to take this opening a little further in a moment. Now relax and bring your knees back in and rock side to side. And we're going to rock right over to all fours and come on up. If it's not comfortable being on your wrists, and for some of you I know it's not, then you'll come down to your forearms. So the elbows are right underneath your shoulders, knees under hips. So whether it's elbows or wrists, push the floor away, shoulders away from the ears. Bring awareness to that tone in the lower belly, in your abdominals, drawing up to protect the back. But this is what we're going to focus on in a moment, moving our spine. And I want you just to bring awareness to the firmness, and then we're going to bring the softness to it also. So right now, drawing the navel up, lengthen through the spine on your inhale. Exhale, keep drawing the navel up and arch up like a cat. So coming into your cat pose, release your head. Firm your forearms or palms downward. Fingers are comfortably spread. Wait for your next inhale now from your pelvis, tailbone backing up. We've moved this part of the spine now. Soften the belly towards the floor. Draw your heart forward. Slight lift of the eyes. Careful not to compress the back of the neck. Exhale, go right back into your cat pose. Focusing from your pelvis. The movement starts there. And then inhale. Again, the movement starts from the pelvis. Tailbone up. Cow pose. Exhale. So taking cat-cow with your breath. Keep it going. Couple more. Ending on your exhalation. Now the head to release. Inhale back into tabletop. Everyone come down to the forearms. Elbows right under the shoulders. Now, we're going to work towards some upper body strengthening here with plank. Many options for plank, as you know. For those that are new, this might be right where you stay. So I want you just to feel the difference between the movement of your shoulders in shoulders on the back and off the back. So let's just practice that. Elbows again under the shoulders. Draw the navel up towards the spine, so that just naturally draws the tailbone slightly down. You're not tucking, but draw the navel up. Will produce that feeling of tailbone scooping. Now, as if you're pushing the floor away with your arms, feel the chest lift up. We're moving just the upper body. Now relax the chest towards the floor, and you might feel this concave feeling between your shoulder blades. On the exhale, feel the chest, sternum, breastbone lift up. Inhale, it drops down. Remember, I call this the sewing machine, the up and down. The movement's in the shoulders. Nothing is moving in the hips. Take 3 more. Exhale, lift. Inhale, chest drops towards the floor. Exhale, draw the chest away from the floor. Feel the difference. So as you lift the chest away and you're pushing the floor away, you hold here. Careful the chin doesn't lift too high. No compression in the back of the neck. Back of the neck stays long. Stay here. This is one option. All right? Feeling strengthen your upper body by just holding. You want to take it a step further, you know what to do. You can go right into full plank if that's available to you, or listen to my options, please. Not changing anything about your torso right now. The only thing you're doing is walk the knees back to a comfortable place, and you can curl the toes under. Keep the navel up, lower ribs lifting away from the floor, chest lifting, and you're truly pressing firmly down through your forearms. Here's the next option. Hold here. Modified forearm plank. The next option is just bringing weight over to the right knee. Lift the left knee up and press your heel back, keeping the toe on the mat. Feel the strength of your core. Hold for a breath and then change sides. This is the next option, and of course the full option is lift both knees up and press both heels back. Nothing's changed. Breath is flowing. Keep breathing. Come out, please. And the next place we're going is on the belly, so you can stay here as long as you feel comfortable. When you're ready, release to the knees. Walk your elbows out and carefully roll through the thighs and come onto the belly. Stack your hands. Rest your forehead on your stacked hands and relax. So in this class, as you know, there are so many options. If you want to stay longer in a pose, of course, you certainly may, and encourage coming out at any time. So as you relax here, let the heels gently fall off to the side, so you feel the difference as you completely relax the upper body, feeling the support again of the floor. Because in a moment we're going to bring, again, awareness of strength in the glutes and hamstrings. So we're taking it a step further, really building this strength, and then we'll be stretching it here in a moment. All right, so as you relax your upper body, feel as if you can lift the belly away from the floor. I know you can't. I can't. I'm just asking that sensation of navel lift and that sensation of this tailbone moving, scooping, I call it, downward. So not a hard tuck. Just it naturally happens because you've tried to lift the belly away, right? Maintain that. You're on the tops of the feet now. Press down through the tops of the feet. Lengthen the right toes away from your hips and lift the right leg up. It's not going to be high. So as you hold here and breathe, keep the right hip pressing into the floor. Another breath. Nothing in the back. If you do, lower the leg or opt out. Exhale, release. If you felt something in the back, let's try again, feeling that belly lift away. Move the tailbone down and then lift now the left leg up. So again, it's not a high lift. We've got that resistance happening right here in the glutes and upper hamstring. A couple more breaths. And release. Take a breath. And we're going to alternate. Exhale. Keep the tailbone scooping. Right leg. Inhale. Press down to the top of the foot. Exhale. Change. Each time you lift, you're really focusing on that resistance that you feel, because you want to make sure you're not able to lift up too high, right? If you do, then check in on all that I mentioned earlier. Take one more on the left, and then you can take one at a time again and hold or lift both. Upper body's relaxed, forehead resting on your stacked hands. Again, it's not a very high lift, but big sensation. I know, working hard. Another breath, and exhale, release, and relax. Feel the difference. Nice work, everyone. All right, let's focus on building strength in the upper back. Forehead again on stacked hands as you press your arms into the mat. Simply lift your head away, and your chest might come up a little bit by pressing the arms down. Tops of the feet press. Lift your arms away from the floor. Back of the hands might come right back up to the forehead. Hold and breathe. One more breath. Exhale, release. and relax. So each time you come down, I want you to completely relax. Feel the difference. Back onto the tops of the feet if you're not there. Firm them down. We'll take it again. First, lift forehead, chest. Inhale, arms. Separate the arms into the cactus arms. Keep the back of the neck long. See if you can lift the arms a little higher. Make sure your breath is nice and smooth. One more. Exhale, turn the head. Release, and arms come by your body, side body. And we're going to start with the palms down. Palms down. Moving towards locust pose. You know the options. I'll ask you to lift both legs, but if one leg is more comfortable, that's what you'll do. Hold for a couple breaths, then change. So bring your head center. On the first inhale, lift the torso. Lift your shoulders away. Keep the back of the neck long. Palms are going to be down for a moment. But feel the shoulders lift away and hold. And slowly, as the shoulders stay lifted, you're going to bring your arms off the floor and turn the palms to the ceiling and see if you can keep the arms somewhat parallel as you inhale and lift the legs. The shoulder blades coming in towards each other. Take another couple breaths. Last one, lengthen, lift. Exhale, release. Maybe turn the head the other way this time and completely relax. All right. One more, or you can stay right here. Arm variation, you know, I like to take the hands behind the back and interlace. That's not comfortable, just come back to the arms that we had earlier. Press down through the tops of the feet. Hug your shoulder blades. Inhale, lift the torso. Keep the elbows slightly bent, but lengthen the arms down towards your feet without straightening them. So keep the elbows soft as you hug. Get back of the neck long. Inhale, lift the legs. Keeping your arms or shoulders where they are, just unlace and turn the palms towards the floor, and now outward, palms outward as you hold. Now, if I stay too long, take another couple breaths. Inhale, lengthen, lift. Exhale, release. Stack your hands, rest your forehead, and relax. Nice work, everyone. Preparing to roll to one side, and when you do so, bring the knees up and use your hand and elbow, bring yourself up. Nice and slow. And come sitting with your feet in front of you. The support that you had for your head, bring it in. And you might be using it in a moment. You might be using it as a support for your hips, okay? So bring it over here to your left side, left hip. All right, so just rock a little bit side to side here, right on your sit bones. Hands are right below the knees. Bring your feet back, and as you press your hands against the shins, sit up nice and tall. Shoulder roll, inhale, forward up. Exhale, back and down. Two more. Should feel good. All our shoulder work, upper body strengthening there, and shoulders back and away from the ears as you sit nice and tall. You're going to slowly start taking your left leg out. You can bring your left foot in, so what we call half cobbler pose. And here's the support. You want to bring it nice and close in before you open it, so it's like a little wedge. That's if you need it. If you can open out comfortably, with no feeling of, discomfort, then fine. But if you need to, bring it in. All right, so you can bring it in as far. Maybe you don't need to have it that far. There's lots of options. So close in if you're really feeling that this is challenging. All right.
right leg. Left hand. Maybe make a fist and bring it right next to you or fingertips to help you stay tall through the spine. This is important. Slide your right leg out just a bit and bring your toes up. Not a flex, not a hard flex, but just bring your toes away from the floor. Use your also right hand next to you. Just maintain that lift. So this is important to be as tall and long through the spine, and you're right on top of what we call the sit bones, as I turn sideways to show you, not back on the tailbone, right? Particularly lifting up through the low back, right? So maintain that with a slight bend, with a little bend in your right knee, long through the spine, leading forward with your heart, and you're bending from your hips. Remember, not the back. Back stays long. Just come an inch or two and then start to straighten the leg. If you can't straighten it, back up a little bit. If you can completely straighten the leg, then bend the knee again, lengthen, and see if you can come forward just maybe, small movement, and then pause here. Deepen your breath, and then slowly straighten the leg, pressing the back of your thigh towards the floor. If you come to a point that's a comfortable stretch, be there with this support here behind you or by your side, or you can bring your hands in front. Be careful though you don't round the back. So this is what you don't want to do. Stay long as you come forward, but you can gently release your head downward. So we take this nice pose to lengthen the hamstring. Relax your eyes, couple more breaths. Again, as your exhalation starts to do the work for you, remember the power of your exhale to help you relax. Try to also relax your left thigh outward. Maybe you don't need the support anymore. Maybe you can move it out a little bit more towards the knee. And if it's way up here, that's okay. It might be that the foot might be more comfortable in front and you don't have the knee out if that feels better. Inhale, come back up, changing sides. If you need that support, shift it over. Let's go ahead and bring in our right foot close in, but it can be out a bit, but to a point that you can just open your thigh with or without the help. Left knee, a little bit bent, soft flex, hands by your side, lengthen up, shoulders back and down. Inhale, exhale forward. Just an inch or so. And then pause here. Slowly begin to lengthen through the heel and the back of the thigh moves down. You can hold for a breath or two, and then you can bend it again, lengthen, and then come forward again, just an inch or two, and then do the same process of slowly. So the leg at first might not be able to go close to the floor or straighten completely, but in due time, as the muscle releases, the leg is straight. Wherever you feel comfortable here, just relax your eyes downward. Focus on your breath. Couple more. Okay, last one. Inhale, sit tall. Nice work. We're coming up to standing. Swing your legs around. Now if you need help coming up, I've got a chair, you've got the wall, whatever your needs are. Otherwise, bring one foot forward, back toe under, straight spine, press down and come on up. Nice. All right. Our posture. We're going to talk about that first, and we're going to take the awareness of our posture into these 3 standing poses that we're going to take that have to do with standing on one leg and focusing on balance, all right? So if you have a wall where you can shut a door, right? Make sure it's shut nice and tight, and you're going to bring your back to it. So I've got my wall right here, and I'm going to step back. All right. So as I get my heels back, as close to the wall as I comfortably can bring them, all right? Apart, about the width of my hips. A little bend in the knee. I'm going to feel my hips touch the wall, my upper back, knees are still bent.
I'm going to lift the toes, which lifts the insteps up a little bit, right? Keep those insteps lifted as you release the toes. And if you feel like you're coming forward because you're so close to the wall, walk your feet away a little bit, but try to bring this close to the wall door that you can. As you firm your feet down and the legs straighten, okay, nothing's changing. You still feel the support right there, like if you were on the floor. And open your palms. Roll the shoulders back towards the wall. Now, if you do that and your ribs poke out, take your fingers here and take them back in. So we tend to sometimes shoulders back and we arch and poke this out. So pull back, tailbone heavy, lengthening down, shoulders are back against the wall. And only if it's available, then you start to lift the arms and bend the elbows a little bit, just a little bit. Keep the back of the hands moving towards the wall, not changing anything here. So feel the back where it is against the wall, and that stays. Now press the back maybe a little bit more. Feel the navel drawing in, not changing the natural curve here of the lower back. And then only if it's available, you see if you can come up a little higher. Now, if you find that one arm is really speaking to you, you adjust it. And then they say, oh, that feels good. And then you move the other arm. All right? It might be this is where you are. Might be straightening is better. So you try to keep the back of the hands as close to the wall. Some of you can get up higher. Watch that the shoulders don't come up. Keep them down. Now, wherever you are, again, elbows are touching the wall if you can. Maybe one side it's not. That's okay. Just don't work too hard, but breathe. Feet firmly press. Hold. Now, yes, you might be able to get higher, but wherever you are, those arms are back against the wall or in that area, as close as you can. Couple more breaths. I know those back muscles are working. I know that your upper back muscles need this because it helps us to bring awareness to where our shoulders need to be in our standing poses. One more breath. Exhale, release. Whew, step away and roll. All right. Really working hard. Doesn't look like it, but I know you are. All right. Turn so that your left shoulder faces the wall, or we're going to do both sides. So, you know, if you're needing to see me and you're doing the right side first just to see, that's fine. All right, so just listen. But I'm going to be directing you to bring your weight onto the left foot in a moment. Before we go there, you've got the wall, and I'm going to face you, I'm going to have a chair. So if that's what you have, just so you can see me. Make sure you're not pulling on the chair and the chair would pull back. You want to be pressing down, particularly if your chair is lightweight like mine is, all right? Okay. Let's stand for a moment in our mountain pose, imagining the wall was there, right? Okay. You're going to shift your weight over to the right foot and feel more weight in the right and lightness on the left. And we're going to change. Go through the center and more weight into the left. You need to hold on, you will, because this is definitely a movement. So hold on to the wall or the chair. Come through the center. When you bring more weight over to the right, I want you to firm the right foot, particularly the outer edge, and I want you to draw in on the glute, the muscles we've been saying hello to, buttocks, and the outer hip particularly, and pull in and hold here and breathe. Now, if you have arthritis in a knee hip, on the standing leg we're going to be going to in a moment, this is one option. Just bring weight over, but you're not going to lift the other foot off the floor. And you're going to focus on the standing leg that I'm talking about and using those muscles. For those that are comfortable, here we go, hold on if you need to, you're going to be bringing your left foot up off the floor. If you feel something in the knee, in the joint, you never want to feel anything in the joint, then you bring your foot down, okay? So we're just lifting the knee straight up. Doesn't have to be high. If it goes too high and your tailbone starts to tuck and the knee bends, then you want to lower till your standing leg is straight and you're back into that mountain pose that we've been practicing, right? Hold and breathe. Once again, feel the strength of your standing right leg. You've got options here. When you want to balance, and I'm all about safety, and if you're home alone, I want you to
Probably best to stay holding, only because I don't want anybody trying something that you shouldn't be trying, you know, and oh, I can stand all with my hands away. Lighten up the hold on the chair. Just barely touch it maybe. The other arm can be out, might help with balance, or you can be up. Wherever you are, breathe. And feeling the strength as you firm your right foot and push the floor away, lengthening up. You can bring both arms up. I'd rather you hold on if you need to, please. One more breath, and exhale, release. All right, we'll take the other side. So weight equally on both feet. Feel the difference between your right and left. Shift your weight over to the left. Before you even lift your foot up, I want you to firm the left foot. Draw it in as you literally push the floor down and feel even the front of the thigh lift up. Even if you can't feel it, imagine. Yeah, activating quad, glutes. Right foot up. Nothing changes. You don't want to sink down. You want to feel like you're lifting up, right through the crown of the head. Strengthen your core. Focus on a spot. Arms out or up, your choice. Holding on, I encourage, just again, lighten your grip. Wherever feels good. If you need to use that hand under the leg for any reason, hey, it's there and might help if your thighs, for any reason, starts to shake. Couple more breaths. And when you're ready, release. Ah, nice. Face your wall, face your chair. Remember, press down if your hands are on the chair. Let's just take a break. We're going to say hello to our feet as we roll forward on the toes and lift the heels. Firm the legs. This is the inhale. Roll down and back onto the heels. Toes up on the exhale. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale. Footwork, ankle strengthening. On the next one, lift and hold. Firm the legs. Think about your posture as we imagine the wall is right there and your spine is super long and you've got the strength going in the legs and your core. Look at your spot and just holding on, but maybe lighten up. Maybe you're up on the fingertips. And focus, ankle strength, breathe. And if it's available, yes, you can release. Maybe just one, please. And then exhale. Slowly roll down onto the heels, lift the toes, move them if you can. And then coming back. With a little bit more weight into the heels, lightness in the toes. And once again, we're going to be shifting the weight. Right. Hold on, please. And left. Through the center. Left. One more time. Over to the right. Through the center. Over to the left. And back to center. All right, we're going to be taking our leg directly to the side this time. So let's go ahead and bring our weight over to the right. Firm again. Press down through the right foot. And when your leg goes out to the side, it goes directly to the side. So careful not to lift it too high, because if it goes too high, the hip is going to rotate, which will bring the toe up. The toe is pointing in the direction that you're facing. And you're firming the standing right now. Right leg as the left leg goes directly to the side. Now, it doesn't go forward or back, directly to the side. Okay? As it goes directly to the side, again, strength. Opposite arm out maybe. Holding on, wall or chair. Breathe. So there should be feeling some resistance. You can only go so high, right? Yeah. Couple more breaths. Again, anything uncomfortable in a joint, you come out and then we just shift the weight over to the right, but keep the left foot down. Okay? Another breath. What I like about this series, exhale, release. Get ready to change sides. As you all can do this anywhere. I like to do it in the kitchen when I'm waiting for something to cook. Instead of maybe finding that screen, needing to see the TV or, phone, whatever, just let it go. Practice a little yoga. Shift your weight over to the left. Firm. Strength. Right leg directly to the side. Again, you don't want to go too high and allow the leg to turn. Lift. You feel that resistance. Work against it. Draw in, and again, holding on, and then just lighten up. Look at your spot. Don't feel like you need to let go. You're doing so much by standing on one leg. That's weight bearing on the joint. That's good. Bringing those muscles in, holding and building strength. But yes, at the same time, balance, right? One more breath. Exhale, release. Nice, and relax. Roll your shoulders a moment. We don't realize all this work here. Maybe the shoulders are getting a little tense. So relax your shoulders. Bring your hands behind the back, interlace. Roll the shoulders back. Hug your shoulder blades. Lift up from the front. Hold and move your arms away from the back again. Hug. Watch those hips or ribs aren't poking out. Top of the thighs back. Lower ribs in. Arms away from the back. Hold and release. Take another breath. Just like we did on the floor. A little bit more action here in those upper back muscles. Exhale, release. Hands on the chair or the wall right here. So just notice where the shoulders are. Maintain that. There's a little bend in the knees. Exhale, standing forward bend. All right. So keep the hands pressing down on the chair and straighten the legs as we hold here. All right, we're going to step back in just a moment in what we call wall press or extended spine position. Right now, we're going to lift up just a little bit, so we're not all the way over a half forward bend, maybe a quarter. Lower abdominals in, so just a slight drop of the tailbone, that little scoop. Shift your weight over to your right and slide the left straight back and pause. So it comes off the floor. So warrior 3, little variation here. When I say that, meaning, oftentimes the arms might be out to the side, one arm, or can be forward. If your hands are on the wall, you're going to keep them there, maybe the cactus arms. But right now I want you to focus on, again, the standing leg, right leg, firm the foot, pull in, tailbone moving downward, leg lifting up, and then you pause. Toe is pointing towards the floor or reaching back. All right, breathe. The leg can only go so high, sort of like our locust pose, right? All right, so if you'd like, opposite arm, if your hands are on the chair and you're pressing down, opposite arm right will extend forward. It's optional, but opposite arm and leg extension. Breathe. Now we're done a lot here, so awareness of how this feels. One more breath. Exhale. If you need to come out before I do, top of the head up, foot comes down, all together, moving as one. All right, change sides. Inhale first. Exhale, that quarter bend. Shift your weight over to the left. Navel up, tailbone scoops. Right leg back, pause. Firm the standing leg. Strong, lift. Opposite arm, left, would extend if you'd like. Couple more breaths. All right, last one. As your hand comes down, the top of the head up, foot releases. Nice. Take a breath. Little bend in the knees. Full half forward bend. So a half forward bend, and then pause here, straightening the legs. Now, we've got some options here. If you feel comfortable stepping back, arms are long, whether your hands are pressing against the wall or on a chair pressing down, maybe you're on a piece of furniture, just make sure it's sturdy, right? And you feeling that nice length, and then soften your chest down. So we're going to stay here for a couple breaths, and then we'll take a variation. Sort of our last pose before we come down. So already we're starting to just feel the effects of this, releasing the front body towards the floor. A variation of downward dog. But we're still focusing on hamstrings. So if you're not feeling much of a stretch, I'm going to give you that option in just a moment. Take one more breath here. Legs are firm. Widen the feet if you need to. Bend the knees. Straight spine. Carefully come up. All right. So if you'd like to go into a little deeper forward bend, and that's available to you, I want you to keep the spine straight. You might use the chair. I'm going to turn my chair towards me to show you. So you might be, go to another chair, or maybe you've got bookshelves or kitchen counter, something like that. All right, so with that, maybe wider feet to start, heels behind the middle toes. I like to start with a little bend in the knees, straight spine, right? Bending from your hips, come over with your hands coming straight down onto the chair. Remember, that's one option. Or hands on the thighs, that's the other option, okay? Straightening the legs. If you're not feeling much stretch here in your half forward bend, then you can start to walk your hands further down. This is what I don't want you to do, is just completely round the back to get there. Keep the back straight. You can also use your chair to come down, maybe, watch me, maybe to the forearms, and then from here I can release the head. And y'all know that for me, I don't take a full forward bend because my back doesn't want me to, and it's not safe. So I do take this as a, cue to tell you, that it's okay. I still get a lot of plenty of the benefits. I can feel the stretch. And when I don't feel the stretch, I just walk my feet closer together. And I might be able to go further. Rest my forehead on my stacked hands. I want you to be in a place you can somewhat relax. So that chair is really nice. Or, again, maybe a counter. So that you can just lengthen your exhales, slowing down your practice. Preparing to come down to the floor for that final pose here, relaxation. But when we can bring our head somewhat down below the heart, we're already starting the benefits of relaxation. It sort of helps to go here first, and then we're just going to slowly come to the knees in a moment. But just stay here for another 3 focused breaths. Gentle stretch of the hamstrings, softening the front body. Last breath. And now with your hands to support you wherever, even it can be the thigh, you can step 1 foot back. You can just come down to the knees, but keep that back nice and straight. I like to take 1 step back, hands on chair or thigh, and carefully come down. Nice straight spine. Good. We're going to use the chair or use the wall to bring our legs up on. So as you come down and move towards the wall, you don't need to be right against the wall. So it could be that you're just to a point that the knees bend a little, and then you'll straighten the legs so they rest against the wall, or the chair. Support under the head, and we're already feeling the effects of this pose. We work towards this pose, so the benefits from the previous poses happen right here. But let's bring our thighs into the chest for a moment, knees apart. Hug your thighs in and rock side to side. Just a nice release of the back from those muscles that we strengthened and lengthened. Rock side to side. And now bringing your soles of feet together, we're coming back to where we began as we open the hips. Thighs out, feet towards you. Release your left foot to the wall or chair. Your right foot comes across. I like to take this pose to just to open the hips, but certainly relax and stretch those muscles we strengthened here today. So as your foot comes across, ankle bone on the outside of that thigh, so a soft flex in your right foot. Use your right hand to guide your thigh away. So you want to hold here, not pushing, but you want to just send the message and be able to feel comfortable opening maybe in that right hip. If you're not feeling much sensation, you take your left hand and guide the left thigh towards you, but keep your right thigh moving away. You can use the hand or the forearm. You can wrap both hands around the back of your left thigh and still use that right forearm to keep your thigh away. But wherever you are, close your eyes. Focus on your breath. Extension of your exhalation. Power of the exhale. Relaxing the tension. Releasing the stress.
untying the knots. Two more breaths. You want to add a little more sensation, just send the tailbone towards the floor and bring your lower back away from the floor, and you'll find that little action creates a big change. Changing sides. So as the right foot comes to wall or chair, bring your left thigh towards you. Take your right hand, take a hold of the left foot, and first, before you place the foot, just bringing your foot towards you, use your left hand to take the thigh away, then guide it across. And just pause here as your left hand continues to guide your thigh away. So one is create this outward rotation before we move further into the pose. So when you're ready, just take your right hand on the back of the thigh or stay right where you are. Breathing deeply, fully, diaphragmatic breath. Two more breaths. And as you release, and once again hug your thighs in, we're going to bring our knees in a little closer. And if it doesn't bother your neck, you're going to bring your chin towards your chest, and you're going to bring your head away from the floor as if you want to bring your nose to your knees, and you're going to wrap your arms around the legs. So like your big ball, and as you hug on your exhalation, release on the inhale, let the head come back. Then again, hug the lower back and bring your nose towards your knee. Doesn't need to touch, no. If this is not comfortable, you won't do it. Just hug, bringing your shoulders away from the floor, and a little stretch in the upper back, and then slowly inhale, release the legs, up the wall, on the chair, your choice. Wherever you are, you want to be comfortable. You might start with your hands back on the belly just for a couple breaths, just feeling the movement beneath your hands. So a few diaphragmatic breaths, just checking in where you were at the beginning of your practice and where you are now. Maybe you're feeling that movement. But where I'm going to lead you to is the relaxation breath. Relaxation breath is an effortless inhale. Just don't work hard, just gentle breath in, longer breath out. So with this breath, it's almost feels like your breath is going to be breathing you. You're not going to work hard. Just close your eyes. Allow your extended exhalations to help you relax those muscles that you certainly strengthened. As you feel the support of the wall or chair, allow your legs to completely release into them. And from that sensation of your legs above your heart, releasing down into the hips relax, belly, muscles all along your spine. Shoulders, arms can now come out if you'd like, but they can stay where they are. It's nice sometimes to feel that movement beneath your hands. They're out, palms are open. Again, eyes softly closed. Take a swallow. Just notice those muscles, those areas that you use in swallowing. And now soften them. Your jaw, around your ear. Feel as if there's a little hollowness in your cheeks, and the tongue is resting just wherever it wants to be. Light touch of your lips. Notice your forehead. Feel as if your brows are just slowly separating wider apart as the tension melts away. Even your eyelids responding.
as if your eyeballs are just moving back, floating wherever. And now, coming back just to the breath to keep you right here. These final few moments. No place to go, nothing to do. Simply be right here. With how you feel, with your breath, bringing you back when you just wander away. I'd like to encourage you to stay longer in this pose. You don't need to come out and sit up unless you're ready. And if you do, you know how to do it, nice and slow. Take your time. Toes, fingers move, thighs into the chest. Over to your right where you hold for a couple breaths before coming up. But if you can stay longer, please do. If you're sitting upward, eyes are closed and hands rest open on thighs. I'll end with these words. Quote, "We cannot always control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we respond." So maybe this week, before you come back to your yoga practice, and I hope that you can practice more than once a week. You just note how you do respond to the events of each day, hour by hour, and see if you can just find your way into the ability of coming back to where you maybe are right here, how you feel. By just sitting, coming onto your back, return to your breath. Allow your choices, your ability to choose those thoughts and that place to come to. The best for you. With the next breath, inhale, hands lift, exhale them together. Just take a moment to take one more focused breath. Wonderful class, everyone. Namaste.